be offended otherwise.
We're live on
Yeah, I think
evidently we have done something to tick off YouTube.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Joel,
Took off your
we
shirts?
saw that Joel has gotten us up on a new link. So
You guys will. Naked curling is not going to fly on YouTube, apparently.
I'm not sure what happened, but somebody had some.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I figured it would have been mine or Darren's nipples, but whatever.
That's why I kept it below the nipple line here, guys.
that could very well be.
Are you guys? Yeah.
So if you go to no, I'm just kidding.
No, as far as I know, my nipples are not copyrighted, and I did not show them.
I get invited to do one curling show in my entire life, and you get yanked from the air. This is me.
Hey, we got to make sure. No, maybe it was NBC and Golf Channel taking it down, Jerry. They don't want you with your tarp off sitting here on the internet, right?
Oh no, they would love this.
Send it.
Can I ask you guys a total rookie novice question? I know everybody who will be watching would know the answer to this anyway, but I'm just so damn curious. When you guys talk about competing too much, and like Tiger Woods, who would literally he won't play a tournament if he doesn't think he can win, but he's one of the few that limits his schedule. What is the most taxing part other than the travel? Is it the actual physical competition or the mental competition? I'm really curious about that.
I think a bit of it depends what position you're playing. So as skips, like, my knee gets sore and stuff, but I'm not sweeping. So the physical part of it is less for me, and it's more the mental side of it. It's all the strategy and all that stuff. But if you're a front end player, the sweeping is the most physically taxing part of the game for sure. So then you're talking beating yourself up with sweeping that many rocks for that many weeks in a row and all this stuff. And so you see some shoulder injuries and some of that stuff from sweepers. And part of it would be knees is a big thing in curling, no matter what position you play, just because of the position that we're in to slide and stuff. But right. I think it's probably it's a bit of both for everybody, but I think if you're playing skip or third, it would skew more towards the mental side, and if you're playing front end, it would skew more towards the physical side, would be my sense anyway.
If you make a final in a slam, you're playing 15 hours a weekend?
The slams are actually less intense because your games are more spread out, but you're playing four usually in the round robin, and then the playoffs. So you're playing 7 games, yeah. But if you look at a Scotties or a Canada Cup, that's more like 10, 13, 14, depending on which way you get there.
Yeah, plus we play 8 ends, the Scotties and World.
Yeah, they're still 10, yeah, it's true.
But a lot of the front end, like Colin Hodgson can speak to that, but also you said between sweeping and mixed doubles especially, like and that's a whole other sport, in fact.
Yeah,
mixed doubles
totally.
is such a physical strain for both players all the time, really, but
not if you play it like Colin and I do.
well, that's
it's not a physical strain for me at all.
As their one-time coach, I can vouch.
Yeah.
When I curled my daughter, I make her sweep all the rocks, so that's totally different.
For me, it's the mental taxing part of like trying to be Colin's teammate for a whole weekend, and for him, it's the physical sweeping part. That's where we get the exhaustion from.
It's very similar to golf in that regard, because golf, you walk around 5, 8, 10 miles a day for 5 or 6 straight days. It's not that taxing. It's not hard. You're outside. You're enjoying great weather. But the mental side of it is so much more taxing. Mm-hmm. But there's a combination of the two, and I really never thought that it really kind of more related to your position as opposed to the actual physical taxation of all those games, all those sheets, and it's so intense mentally. Just watching it on TV, I get nervous. I get tired watching it. I get so nervous for everybody. I think a big part of that too is because the commentary is so good. Kmart, Mike, that's why.
Oh, see, yeah, that boy. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Jerry.
Plug. That's good.
That's a good friend. That's the way you do it.
Oh,
And now you guys got to work with an amateur like me tonight. Jeez. Yeah.
Just to add to that, guys, I just loved everything I heard there, and I just wanted to add, I think that, you know, one of my favorite, I guess, sayings that I've heard recently is that the mind gives out before the body ever will. And yeah, mentally taxing, like Chelsea was talking about it. You know, I'm a skip as well. There's a bunch of skips on this Zoom call, and the mental aspect is way more draining at skip than physical, but you feel it physically in your body like crazy. And we had a heck of a grind this year at the Briar, having to place tiebreakers and stuff, and after a long week and at the end of the week. And even though, you know, Gushu won that Briar and we did not, you know, win that Briar, we came out of that Briar feeling like we won the Briar. And I mean that because in the sense that we learned so much about ourselves. It was so rewarding to go through that, push ourselves to a limit that I don't think we've ever really been pushed to before, that it became like our new sort of, I don't know, the limit that we can go to. And it was super rewarding. It was weird. It was so weird. I've never felt like you've come out of an event before and you lost, but you felt like you won. That's the first time that's ever happened to myself and our team. But yeah, mentally, it's crazy how physically you feel for 3 or 4 days after a really hard week of curling, right?
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's like I say it's mental, and that makes it sound like it's just mental, but like I ache, like I've got aches and pains and stuff as if I did more physical work than I've done, but it's just because you're so exhausted. So that's a good point, because it's easy to say mentally exhausting, and you think of that as an entirely different thing, as if it doesn't affect you physically, but it does.
So
Yeah,
how do you?
Your whole nervous system.
Exactly.
Right?
Brad, I can't. I completely agree with you. I think I felt better as a competitor on my team after the Briar, after losing the tiebreaker to Epping, that we did lay it out there, and we know where we made mistakes and we want those moments back. But like, I think we put it together mentally, and that, you know, physically it all followed after that. For the first time, our team kind of like really, you know, we struggled so hard that first year, and we tried to force that stuff to happen. And then this was the first time we just kind of like let the cards fall and let people, you know, everybody kind of just found what was necessary for them. And all 4 of us probably had the best performance we've had, even though we didn't win. It's kind of a strange, odd feeling where you lose, but you feel like you won quite a bit there. This Briar was insane, by the way. I never seen anything like that.
The Briar, that's the best Briar I've ever seen.
Oh,
so there's
absolutely,
that
yeah.
part of it for sure. But I felt like we lost the trials final in 2018, and everybody's like, and I mean, obviously you're crushed. You don't get to go to the Olympics, and you're within a shot or 2 of going, and whatever. But I walked away from that trials actually saying there's nothing else. There's nothing I would have changed about how we approached it, about how we felt. Like, it was a very strange feeling. Like, as much as I was gutted, I felt some kind of relief or closure. I don't know what the right word is. In like, we left everything out there, and we none of us were nervous before the final. We did all the right things. We prepared the right way, and we just didn't win. But you're not gonna win every time. And I felt, I felt a shocking amount of satisfaction. I don't even know if that's the right word, but of peace about losing that trials, because of, like, I just felt like we couldn't have, we made mistakes. Like, I flashed a blank in the first end, but I loved how I threw it. So, you know, whatever, it happens. And I just, I felt like there was nothing I would have changed. And like, I learned a lot about myself, and it is weird though, to walk away after a loss and feel somehow oddly good about it.
So how do you guys like recover, like physically and mentally? Like, I've always wondered that, like Chels, Brad, Haji, like is it just you stay in bed for 2 days, or like what do you do? Like I know after the Saskatoon.
Have you heard of beer?
Yeah, but I know after like the Saskatoon men's bonspiel, and I don't curl on the level anywhere close to you guys. But like, I take the day off and just kind of hang out and be hungover. Like, is like, what do you guys do?
It all depends on, for me, I'm going to speak to this if I can, as a spouse, which is probably odd, well, whatever. Anyway, I'm sure every spouse, every partner has their own way of coming home or when their partner comes home. But for me, I know the next day, it all depends if Brad wins or loses. Right? If he wins, it's a happy come home and it's all joyful and everything. And if he loses, it's a little bit sad. But whether it's a win or a loss, he still needs to come down from it, and he needs that time. So usually for Brad, it's a day or two, depending on how long the event is, for him to be back to his normal husband, dad self. So we just give him his time, and he comes around. He's like, I'm ready now. I'm back to me. So
yeah, and just to add to that also, it's that rest and recovery, like she's saying, and staying in bed. Yeah. But at the same time, I'll usually try to force myself to go to the gym as soon as possible and get the blood flow and the sweat going. And even if I don't want to, right? It's always trying to do the uncomfortable thing to get me past feeling like crap.
This has been great conversation. I love hearing all these stories. We've got gold medal winners, national championship winners, some world number ones, fantastic curlers here, some of the best in the world. We've just take a pause on this, and we got to get into our last round of games here. We've got a couple going on yet. So Colin is going to be taking on Eric, and then in our feature game, we are going to have Kevin Martin taking on James. And we've got our special commentator. We've got Mike Harris and Jerry Foltz from the Golf Channel,
and
along with John Fraser. So I'm going to put you guys into your breakout rooms, and then
I have to say another special thing.
Go.
It is James' birthday today.
It is James' birthday today, so take it easy on him, Kevin.
So just so you know.
It's also Kevin's daughter's birthday too, right?
It is.
Lots of birthdays.
All right, so we're gonna play the price video again because apparently there was something wrong with the sound on that. So we're gonna play that for the live stream, and then I'll push you guys into the breakout rooms, and you can play your games.
Hey guys, Bryce Atkinson with Curling Zone. Thanks to Regan Burr for a few minutes here to talk to you guys about something that is near and dear to our family's heart, and that is lupus. And Regan is a tireless advocate in the work she does regarding lupus with the Lupus Research Foundation and certainly Lupus Spiel in the event this weekend. Unfortunately, it's a disease that our family knows way too much about. As my mom, who was obviously my mom, my best friend, and really a mentor in a lot of ways with journalism, was diagnosed when I was in high school, just about to start high school in 1989 after numerous doctor's appointments, months and weeks of feeling horrible, not be able to figure out exactly what it was, ended up flat on her back with a spinal tap. They did diagnose her with the most aggressive form of lupus, and many people know that lupus is not something that you get rid of. It's not like cancer that you're able to put it in remission. It's basically just something that you're able to deal with. You do put it in remission, so to speak, but you always have it. It never goes away. It's just something you learn to live with. But unfortunately, my mom lost her battle with lupus in 2002, March, due to complications with a pulmonary embolism. Here 1 minute, gone the next. And so she lives in me and so many of my family, my sister, my dad. But I want to say thank you to everybody doing your part this weekend. Those who have played in Lupus Spiel before, those who are playing this weekend, those who have given, volunteered, donated items, time, money to fight this nasty disease and important cause, which is lupus. And so thanks to everybody who has played a role in the past at past Lupus Spiels. Just cannot thank you enough, and cannot thank Regan enough, because it is absolutely debilitating for those who are afflicted with lupus. And hope in my lifetime we will see a cure. But thank you again to everybody, and thank you to Regan for giving me this opportunity. And I want to say good luck to everybody this weekend, and have some fun.
Yes. Let us know where you are. We have to go.
What's your handle?
All right. I'm Albu Curl. I see you Okay, we're in room 1.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
being challenged.
I
There we
will
go.
jump over to room 1 and shut off my. So I don't hear the ads.
And it looks like Kevin is starting with the hammer. So
Know how I want to toss.
it's kind of interesting, just the randomness of that here. All right. Okay, I kind of like that. All right, I'm 0 for 3. So
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are in room 1. We got AB Curl and the old bear.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just getting underway. Quick introduction here, right on our YouTube stream. One of the commentators. My name is John Fraser. Very much an amateur curler. Very much the least qualified out of anybody in this game, and the least smart out of anybody in this game. If you read James's bio, who's your amateur competitor, the word nuclear's in it. That's all we got to say. I'm stealing that joke from curling commentator, Olympic silver medalist Mike Harris. Very special guest, Jerry Foles from the Golf Channel as well. If you've been watching golf, like I do all the time, you know Jerry, and of course, one of the greatest curlers of all time, if not the greatest, the one, the only, Kevin Martin. So we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight with everybody. So hope you're enjoying on YouTube. And of course, I'm going to point up because I can keep pointing up. Let's cure lupus.org. So first off, I guess my first question is here for everybody in the room. Jerry, how much do you know about curling, and how do you get involved as being, like you've got a great career in pro golf and a pro golf broadcaster, and you're here calling a curling spiel?
Well, I'm hopefully not calling it for the sake of the people tuning in. Maybe I've watched it forever, and it's captivating, and it's amazing how many closet curling fans that I know in North America, especially in the United States, where it's not nearly as big as it is in Canada. But I've just always been infatuated with it. And of course, our exposure to it in the States is basically the Olympics every 4 years. And as we were demonstrated in Pyeongchang, it has a huge following in the United States. It was on in the middle of the night, and when I got up in the middle of the night, of course, the U.S. team was having a great run and ended up winning.
Oh, absolutely.
I was one of thousands and thousands of thousands of people who are the same as me, just curious about it. I don't get to play. I've played one time. I went curling one time with Mike Harris and Bob Weeks, and I was terrible. And Karen Stupples was a natural at it, but there she is.
Karen was good. Karen was good, I gotta say, yeah.
But I love watching it. Obviously I don't understand the intricacies of it the way you guys do, the ins and outs of it, much like, golf. When I talk about golf, that's all second nature to me. When you guys talk about curling, that's second nature to you. But I'm so thirsty and curious and hungry to learn more about it. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to be a practitioner of it or a player on a regular basis because of my schedule and the fact that I cover golf, which doesn't normally go to cold weather climates. But I'm infatuated with it, and it's. I told Mike earlier, this is like the biggest thrill I've had in a long time to be online with you guys. It's really cool for me.
Well, that's awesome. We're glad to have you, Mike. Obviously, you are A, an Olympic silver medalist, and B, you are one of the most known curling commentators these days. But these days on Twitter, you're more of a chef. And I said the first question I was going to ask you. You were talking about your meal tonight. I had leftover roast beef on a cold bun. What was the go-to tonight, Mike?
Oh well, we've that's the one thing I've seen on Twitter in this pandemic is that people are discovering their culinary skills, and so tonight we had a steak, but I tweeted out I was going to try some chip dip on my baked potato. So I had hell of a dip tonight on my baked potato, and it was good. I have to say it was first time trying it, and yeah, it was worth it. Jerry, by the way, Jerry and Karen have done some, but Jerry especially. Jerry's a baker. I know.
Really?
Up there, old bear. Was that you?
No, I'm getting beat up here.
Oh, yeah.
That was James, our nuclear scientist.
Good shot.
All right, I got to stop everyone right now. There's 2 syllables. Nuclear.
I know. I'm saying it wrong. You just blame me.
Nuclear?
Listen.
It's nuclear. Yeah, not nuclear.
Listen, I'm going to screw it up the rest of the night.
Well, that's all right.
I'm going to blame being Canadian. I'm going to blame having a couple beers in my Briar mug here. So, James.
Giving people, yeah.
James, I hope you're having fun.
Well, I am. I gave up 7 to Schuster in the earlier game, so I'm hoping not to do that again.
Well, I don't know if anybody's had to go back to back against Olympic gold medalists. Like that just seems unfair, right?
Well, I don't know if it's unfair because, as you said, my background, I should have been able to scout out every single angle and figure out what I should do right and wrong, but I haven't done that, and now I'm about to give him a point.
Why are you bumping me to the button?
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to go around to get mine to the button.
Yeah, that's not a good call.
Kevin, I've always wanted to ask you for years.
Oh, I just threw that one right to the boards.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's a classy move. I was distracted. I'm sorry.
well, after you bumped me to the button, it's the least I could do is throw this one through.
I've always wanted to ask you, how long was it until you had to pay for a drink anywhere in Canada after you guys won gold in Vancouver?
Well, I'm going to buy one pretty soon.
That's what I'm trying to do.
It's eventually coming up here, eh?
I was going to say, you haven't had a drink with Kevin. He's got very short arms and deep pockets.
I was waiting for you to say that. I was exactly waiting for you to say that. That's awesome. Mike and I tend to have the odd one when we're on the road together.
We do. Yeah. I can vouch for him that he has had. We do. Was it reciprocate cocktails after our shows on Sportsnet?
It's the only way to be, and I will admit, the one thing I learned about you, Kevin, being a curling fan for years. I remember you were in Lloydminster. This would have been about like 2007, 2008. You dropped the puck at a Lloyd Bobcats game.
I remember that.
That's right.
The Bobcats game.
Exactly. I was the in-rink announcer, and I remember shaking your hand. You have huge hands. Has anybody told you that before? Like you could have been an auto mechanic. I remember shaking your hand and going, he crushed my hand.
The farmer squeeze.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But that was
somewhere.
I just gave away points again. Oh.
Yeah, I think after the shirtless. After we went shirtless in our last live stream, I think we're trying to keep this one a little bit more PG-13.
Oh, we go. Nobody needs to see that.
I've got a lot of family watching back in Indiana, so yeah, they've got their kids watching, so probably better not.
Is this your last rock, Kev?
This is it.
Yeah.
Draw for three?
Three.
Draw for three. I think I've hit the guard.
Oh, you're by the guard.
Don't tap him in.
No, looks like.
Oh, and you just decent sweeping.
Oh, you still might get
got it.
Did it still fall in for three?
I think it's only two.
No, it was only two. All
right. How do I watch this? I'm just curious.
You got to go to playcurling.com.
I'm on it as a guest. I'm in room one.
Room one.
Yeah.
And then you got to find the game. It's the Old Bear versus Albu Curl. And you just double click on the game, and that'll pop up. The game will pop up.
Oh, got it. Sweet. Thanks, Mike. Now I'm not so blind.
That's right. Now we can see everything. Now we can get the analysis from everybody in here. Check it on YouTube as well. Trina says, happy birthday, James. We already sang happy birthday at the beginning of this, and it didn't really turn out, so we're just going to wish you a
not going to get better with this crew, I don't think.
No, it would. It certainly would not be. As well, Huntsville, Alabama, Andy. She's a huge Crimson Tide fan living in Edmonton. And of course, a big thank you. Thanks for joining us, Jerry. Trina has been, Kevin, she's been watching you curl since 1985. This is great. Awesome event. So longtime fans here that learned out that you have huge hands that will crush a smaller human. James, I feel like I know fun facts about Mike and Jerry, from watching golf, following curling, being on Twitter. James, what's a fun fact about you?
What do you consider fun?
Anything nifty. Anything that somebody, yes, the word nifty is coming back.
Nifty? Oh, let's see, because what did I put on there? Been around the country, still in the Army. So I've lived in 11 different states. And I have never been to Canada.
Really?
No, just has not happened. I was supposed to go to Scotland this year for the Men's Worlds before everything got canceled.
Right.
I've actually never been to Europe other than on a stopover on deployments.
Mm-hmm.
This might be okay.
But you have lived in Yuma, Arizona, and not a lot of people can say that. And you survived.
Yeah, I lived there in the
They
middle of the
survived.
summer of '98.
It's so pretty. That's just so pretty.
I have no desire to ever go back.
Said no one ever.
The other thing about the living in all across the U.S., I've only lived in one state by choice, and that's where I'm at right now, New Mexico, because that's where I went to college. I was born in Indiana, so yeah, parents chose that one for me.
Yeah, I don't have a choice on that one, right?
Yeah.
I could insert an Ontario joke here, but I won't. A couple notes too. Curling Zone is a sponsor for this game. If you want to know anything about curling, curlingzone.com. They didn't write a blurb, so we all get to make it up. So we can come up with whatever Curling Zone taglines we want that I think would be Jerry approved.
There's another Jerry, the other Jerry.
Right. Oh, right. There's lots of Jerrys.
There's lots
The
of
guy
Jerry's
who owns the curling zone is a guy named Jerry Gertz. So,
But I feel like though that Jerry should make up a tagline for Jerry.
Jerry Foltz should make up one for Jerry Gertz.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty witty, but it's late. Let me give it a little time. I'm enthralled watching this game right now. This is so cool. I'm going to sign on and start playing this thing online.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, look at this. Bump the blue one in.
Pretty good.
That was just like I drew it up.
Beautiful stuff. What am I supposed to do now with that?
An update too. The amateurs are back up 47-43.
I did nothing to help that.
Well, again, like we said, James, like you're the one guy that can say I spent a night losing against two guys with Olympic gold medals.
I haven't lost this one yet.
Oh. But I'm just giving you out if you do. Like I'm always.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
This one's is going well.
That's not bad.
There, Kevin Martin himself sitting there on in the top 4. To actually talk about the curling for a minute. But it looks like this one might be
I was trying to take the guard out, but this actually might wind up working.
Look at that.
A little double tap because of the crazy physics.
Oh, too heavy.
Too heavy.
Perfect.
That is one thing I've learned from watching these games is the taps don't really work because everything just kind of goes like launching through everywhere. So
the rocks are lively. Hey,
yes.
Yes.
That might be an understatement. The rocks, I believe, are made of flubber to reference an old 90s movie.
Oh, I gotta sweep that thing. Pay attention.
Oh. Well, you got to see the earlier absent-minded professor. This is well before the 90s.
That's true. All right.
I'm trying for a hit here.
Need a shot here, James.
Yeah, no, I need that. Oh, no. Well, I got one.
Oh, good shot.
It's the start of something great right there.
Okay.
What are you thinking here, Kevin?
What do you think, Jerry? Same spot or a little deeper?
I like that spot.
Yeah, try to go a little bit deeper, like into the 4-foot circle, the red circle.
Okay. Don't give it. Yeah.
That's not going to do it. I'm trying to sweep it.
That's not going to do it.
We're by. Now, I'm just going to sweep. Try to get a little bit further. A little bit further. Oh.
Should be just touching the 8 there, Kevin.
Perfect.
All right.
My guard out.
I think it's second shot.
Yeah, it is. It's it.
Yeah. Are you sitting 1-2?
What are we playing here? The run back?
You got this, James.
Throw in the heat.
Bring the thunder.
Well, if nothing else, I need to clear that out so I can get a decent shot on the last one. No, it's not coming over enough, but at least it cleared out.
Yeah.
It's all right. You're right. You have options now. You've still left that out turn draw there for the 1.
Gonna go way out in the weeds here.
See what he leaves me with here.
Yeah, Kevin's put some. Was that the game plan here? Kevin tossed some pressure on poor James here.
Heat on here, but
that's right. Make him sweat a little bit in.
Hey, that might add a little pressure.
That's a great shot.
That adds a lot of pressure.
Yeah, James, I hope you're wearing antiperspirant scented deodorant today after that one.
Oh, in there.
Corner guard in the way on the intern side.
Mike, Jerry, what would you be thinking here?
I'll defer to the silver medalist.
I try to figure a way to get into the side of the 4-foot, only give up one, maybe. Might be.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not hitting. No, I'm crying. I didn't come over far enough.
Well, let's hit the top one. Get out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I'm giving up 3.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a 5-0 lead here. I gotta ask you, James, obviously you curl, Kevin, you curl. Do you guys change? Like, do you try to play the same strategy while you're playing, video curling as you do to real curling? No, totally different for you, James.
Well, our club, the most experience anyone has is maybe 5 years. Right. So curling with everyone that is that new to curling, you have to just try to give them shots they can make. There's no way I'd try to leave that many rocks in on the ice when we were playing, as I just did, because on this I think I can get doubles. Apparently it's not happening, but
and it wouldn't be in a normal game.
Oh. Hey, in our club, no.
No, we'll have to get down there, Mike. Check out the club.
Oh, you'd be very interested to see our setup.
It is a special place.
We have 2 tunnels between 2 hockey rinks, and we have to set the hacks almost on the boards of the hockey rink.
Oh, crazy.
Oh, to make enough room, like?
Yeah. There's not enough room. They made, we appreciate that we have the circles, because otherwise we wouldn't be curling, because they have hockey every night of the week there.
You're in Albuquerque?
Yeah, that's in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But when they measured it out, it looks like they measured out the exact distance of the sheet, not thinking they needed to put 6 feet behind for hacks.
Right.
So they're almost, so you don't have much room
Nope.
for your leg to go back. How much?
Yeah, you'll kick the boards most of the time.
Where I grew up in Lougheed, we had about 1.5 feet behind that, maybe 2 feet. Yeah, real tight.
Amateur dumb question here. When you're doing it in between the hockey rinks like that, is the ice hockey ice or is it curling ice?
It's hockey ice.
Oh, okay. So that's way different when you're sweeping.
It's hockey ice, and they have skating lessons on them on times when we're not using it. Yeah.
That's that. I couldn't imagine throwing rocks down something like that. That'd be an adventure.
Oh, it is.
It's a special place.
A special place, I think I heard in the background.
Yeah.
But it's like, it sounds.
How many people in not only in the States but all over the world really play in, I call it poor conditions for lack of a better way of describing it. But I went to I think it was I was in Latvia 10 years ago doing a clinic, and same thing, was in a hockey rink, and they only got the ice Sunday afternoon from like 12 till 5 in the afternoon. And so for this one clinic we ran, they had the ice for the whole weekend, and they were so happy just to have 48 hours of curling ice. And it really kind of put things in perspective for me. Kevin can speak to this too, but we're used to playing on perfect conditions. Like PGA Tour, they only ever really play on golf courses that are mint all the time. So when you go to a place where you see people just playing for the love of the sport, for me, it was really inspiring actually to watch. Harken back to, like, Kevin started in Lougheed, little club. I started a little 2-sheeter, little 2-sheeter in Montreal with you only did it because you liked it. And same thing for many people who play the game. When you see it on TV, I think most of the curlers would have similar stories, starting in places that you wouldn't maybe necessarily expect, right? So it's
we talked to a couple of clubs, and we get ice time at 7 p.m. When we do it, and so we've talked to clubs that can only play at midnight on Sunday.
Yeah, crazy.
Because of those tunnels, we can get those better times.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, if they didn't have that, I don't know when we would even be able to get ice time.
Right. However, on the virtual ice, James, you're looking pretty good here. You got a couple behind cover. You know.
Yeah, I'm not looking bad, but yeah, it's
the angles
early.
aren't necessarily great for Kevin. You still got a few rocks to go here.
Yeah.
No trouble in paradise here. It's looking like a 3 or a 4.
We'll see what I can do. I mean,
just trying to you're just trying to keep everything entertaining here tonight, Kevin.
Sure. Good shot. That's a good card.
Yeah, see, now you can cut.
Well, better shake up these yellows a little if I can. Let's take the guard.
You need a sweeper there, Kev.
Yeah, somebody better than me. Oh, now look, I wrecked the whole sheet. Everything's plugged.
Everything's messed now. Yeah, this looks like natural ice at the Atikokan Curling Club when I was growing up. You know, the first end where you had to chuck peel just to get it across the hog line. So, yeah. What are you thinking if you're trying to score some points here, Mike?
Well, he's got what he needs. He's got the guards, and he's got 2 in the ring. So you're guarding the yellows. Was that the call here?
That's why I'm guarding the run back, trying to. So he can't. That's more of the worry right there. Is that one hanging on?
Yeah.
Is if you can tap that one back.
Although that's still a hard tap back.
Yeah.
We'll see if virtual Kevin Martin has the same unconscious draw weight as actual Kevin Martin.
Yeah. I'll see that.
But he's still gonna make something here. So.
I'm still sitting 2, so I'm fine with that.
Sitting 2. I don't really have a way in.
Yeah, try to get one maybe wide around there on the left-hand side.
Unless you want to get, you have hammer.
Yeah, I've got hammer, so that's why I was trying to either put another one point or I mean those are kind of hard run backs.
Yeah, another one in the rings.
Yeah. Don't pull a Darren Molding here. I don't want to be involved with another blowout game here. So if you could just.
I've already been involved in 2 of those. I was not on the winning side either time.
Neither was Darren, hence why the shirts came off.
Oh,
get it by. Get it by. It'll be fine. It'll stick. That's good.
Heck of a shot.
Great shot there.
They don't want to knock my one out.
Beauty.
Okay, Kev.
Oh yeah.
How do you get in there?
Try to sneak one way wide.
You know, would he freeze? Give him one.
I'm gonna try to freeze to the one that James just threw, but I gotta get by the guard. It's getting pretty tight.
Better go hard there, Kev. No, I think you're just gonna sneak it by.
Lock it on.
No, he's just gonna be.
That's a pretty good recovery shot.
That is great.
Hard to get to.
One.
That is the first time that virtual Kevin Martin has looked like real Kevin Martin this end.
Yeah, 7 misses in a row to start.
7 misses and then just a clutch draw out of nowhere.
What are you trying?
I was trying to draw even closer, but it looks like I am going to hit and maybe give you the point.
I think blue's shot right now.
Oh, actually, no, there we go. Actually, that was better than what
Luckily,
I thought.
it's guard. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was
on the board.
Wrecking was the good option there.
On the board.
No shutout. That's the important part in this. And besides, this is the most important end coming up here because this is the bonus end.
Oh, is that right?
This is right. So this is the one, that if you're not going to win the game, got to try to win the bonus end here. So time to get real aggressive, James. Time to put your steely pants on.
Hey, Mike, the first time we were talking about Scotland. The first time played there was in 1985 in November, and we played in right at the very top in Inverness.
Yeah. And
I remember walking out on the ice. And the ice was actually it was a hockey rink. The figure skaters just finished, and then we got to go out. And I remember you had to go grab the wooden block from at the end of the rink, and then you take the wooden block out and stick it in the ice. Had 4 nails under it, and you stuck it in a certain spot, and then that's where you pushed off of.
That was the hack.
And then at the end of the end, you throw the wood back there, and then you play your end, and then you put the wood back in, and
unreal.
Played, yeah.
Wow.
1985. in Inverness. It was what a wonderful bonspiel. We just had a blast.
So speaking of playing internationally, question for the whole room. Where's been your favorite place to play either curling or I guess for Jerry, golf, James, obviously you've been all the way across the States, curling, golf, whatever, right? I guess let's start with Mike. For, favorite place to curl?
Well, it depends what you're looking for, right? But I would say, curling in Canada, it's hard to beat curling, especially in a big arena, in a big event, and for my team when we played Kevin in that trials final in Brandon, that was obviously the most exciting thing I'd ever played in at that time. But speaking outside of kind of that competitive stuff, I love that southern Swiss area, Lausanne and Geneva, and Jerry and I actually we referred to it today in a tweet. We're in Evian is right there. Evian Masters for the golf is there, and that whole area for me is my favorite part of the world. So I just love it there, and I've curled many times over in Switzerland, and I was coaching a Swiss team last year, so that would be for me probably number one.
Jerry, where's your favorite place to golf? You could pick one course anywhere in the world you've played.
My favorite city. I've traveled. Karen's traveled more of the world than I have. I've seen most of it, but there's a couple continents I haven't visited yet. But my favorite place in the world where I've ever been is in Western Australia, Perth, Western Australia, because it reminds me of an uncrowded, unpolluted San Diego. And they had a really cool golf course there. I played the Australian Tour in 1988-89 for an entire season, way back when. I'm old. And they had a course there that was built out of a rock quarry, a Robert Trent Jones Jr. course called Joondalup, and it was it was a masterpiece. I marveled at the design of this golf course. So nobody's ever heard of it. It's a place called Joondalup in Western Australia is my favorite place. Where is yours?
It's a tough one for me. I really enjoy playing in Thailand, enjoy playing Singapore, just because, and Korea very much over in Asia, because women's golf is just so huge, and the fans, the fans in the galleries that come out to watch are just amazing. Much the same way as you get in Canada when Brooke Henderson's playing, everybody just wants the course. They just want to be there and love it. But I think in terms of an emotional experience playing golf, it was the last time I played the Women's British Open at St Andrews. Just because all of a sudden it hit me that this was where golf started and what golf had given me throughout all those years. For centuries, people had been tearing their rain suit on the gorse bushes and, or whatever, just getting stuck in the rough and not been able to get out of hell's pocket the same way I couldn't. It was just, and it just all of a sudden hit home to me. And that was kind of that was been it for me.
But our favorite place to curl, Mike, where was it? Outside Toronto there?
That was in Oakville, yeah, Oakville.
Yeah.
Our favorite place to curl, only place we curl, but our favorite place.
Well, it's easy to make up your mind then. Kevin, I mean, you've got the long career. Favorite place to curl?
Played in a bonspiel 3 years in a row, and that's the same with with what Mike said. It was very important. Is it for fun? Is it competitive? But it was 3 years in Japan in a row. I just loved it. The object of the trip was to teach ice making, teach curling camps, play in bonspiels, and then try to get a building built about 45 minutes south of Nagano. And so it was like a project over a multi amount of years, and that was really special. That was really cool. I really love the country. It's so busy. It's so busy. There's so many people, but it's perfectly clean. Like it's amazing how well kept, and I just really enjoyed it.
And James, obviously, you've been all across the U.S. You've played at everything from a tunnel, I'm sure, to actual curling clubs. What brings back the best memory for you?
Honestly, it was in Dayton, downtown Dayton. We curled outside in the winter months.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we've had games where we'd have to sweep snow off. I mean, it's covered, but you'd have snow coming in from the river. You'd have to sweep the snow off between your shots just so you have something that could actually go down the ice.
Right.
And so, I had a lot of fun playing in that. And actually, it's Curl Troy out of Troy, Ohio. And that league where they play outside always fills up. oh, I'm not getting what I wanted here, but that's all right. Oh, that's not bad.
That works out.
Maybe. But it was just a lot of fun. Play outside. I mean, they shortened it to 6 ends, so you weren't outside too long. Then you go, and the bar is right there on the other side of the street.
The most important part.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'll agree on that.
Yeah. I was going to say, much like golf and curling have much similarities in that. That
I'm highly attracted to sports where if you're a recreational player, you can find a waitress. Yes.
That's the hardest part about golfing this year is the beer carts are banned. So at least now most carts come with the cooler you can load at the clubhouse. So that's
No. You're a rookie. You bring your cooler with you, just in case the beer cart's banned. Absolutely, no. The beer carts are rolling in Florida now. Just so you know,
are they?
Oh, that's big.
Well,
We've got
Jerry,
ours is starting on Monday up here, so in Toronto.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was trying to be politically correct because we're on the internet. I politically incorrect. I am the master of sneaking booze onto the course. I go as far as pre-scouting to see what kind of beers they pack at that course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a pro move. I mean,
Right?
that's next level. Absolutely, yeah.
See, I'm giving you a proper golf clap for that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, as a golf pro, you guys are just breaking my heart as a club. That's frowned upon here at Bushwood.
Okay, if I ever get the chance to play Bushwood, Mike, I'll spend the dough and buy your beer. All right.
The course I played yesterday has 16 ounces and like that. So I load the cooler with those just in case the beer cart wasn't working. The course I played last week had the 12-ounce cans. You got to know your environment. It's important.
And I can tell you that hockey socks make a great makeshift cooler because they're tapered at the end. So you just load them up with ice, throw a bunch of beers, and then if you ever get stopped, you're just opening up your bag and it's just a towel I have. It's a spare towel.
There aren't any real beer police out there, but that's good thinking. No, I just use a last minute excuse that I left the umbrella in the car. I got to get it. Of course, the cooler's in there.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean that's the way to go.
It's not necessarily to save money. It's just to ensure that the hydration level stays proper.
Oh, that's right. Of course. I mean, I'm famous for in golfing and curling is having between 2 and 4. I kind of find a good spot, start making my shots, the happy place. After that, I have another couple, and it's off the rails. It's just
quite a few curlers like that as well. Just so you know, there's lots of curlers like that.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good, Mike. And I know we've been trashing on most of the feeds, but I can tell you that Colin Hodgson gets better as he has more beers.
That's what Colin says, but if you ask his teammates how he plays,
listen, I once played in a small town Alberta fun spiel with Colin Hodgson, and I can tell you.
Where at?
Eiley, Alberta, Kevin.
Eiley,
yes.
Not too far from Lloydminster.
You got it. That's where I was living at the time. That's right. Yeah, they got a fun little 2-sheeter. I recruited Colin up for some help for our mini world championship team, and
good shot.
On $3 drinks, I think we ran up a $1,200 bar tab that weekend.
That would be like the equivalent of Yuma, Jerry, I think.
Right?
No. You don't have a single place in Canada that could compare to Yuma.
So what makes Yuma for those watching and for my own curiosity, Jerry, what makes Yuma the place to be?
No, it's not. No, it's literally it's the sphincter of North America.
I was there for 6 months, and I think for 5 of those months, the highs were 115.
Oh.
Jerry should tell you why he was there.
Why were you there?
Why were you there?
Why were you there?
Why was it?
I don't know. You said.
I almost went to college there. I grew up in Las Vegas. I got recruited to go to a junior college there, and I went down there, and I didn't think any place in the world could be hotter than Vegas.
Nice.
And my God. Yeah.
Nice roll.
Like how many times, like, okay, as a slightly overweight dude, I know I have the angles worked here, right? So I don't look slightly overweight. But as a slightly overweight dude, how many times would I have to change a shirt during a day in Yuma?
No, you don't. No, and it's a dry heat.
Dry heat. Yeah.
It's a dry heat, but you don't go outside.
That's
Your
okay.
shirt- Your shirt literally doesn't get wet. It
It
evaporates.
doesn't smell bad either, I'm sure of it.
Right? Not like Johnny Moe's socks that we were talking about, Kevin.
Exactly. Oh, man. Yeah.
No, I can tell you as a Northern Ontario kid, though, there's been a time or two, and I'm sure, Mike, you know, being in Southern Ontario, you walk outside, that humidity hits you, and it's just like, all right, I need a new tarp.
Well, same Jerry and Karen in Florida. Like, I mean,
Oh, yes.
it's oppressive. The humidity just awful. So
Just
Yeah.
punches you right in the face.
yeah.
I lived the first 40 years of my life in the desert. Grew up in Vegas and lived in Phoenix. And I was a big defender of the dry heat theory, and then moved to Florida where the humidity is oppressive, especially Orlando, which is the only city in Florida, a major city, where you wouldn't live if you had a choice. But Walt Disney got a great deal here years ago, and it became a hub. And Golf Channel's based here. But I think that I wouldn't trade this for the dry heat again ever, because 115 degrees, as James will tell you, that's just rude. It's just rude. It hurts. You can't start your car without burning your hands.
Oh, that's crazy. Also, too, just getting messages from Joel, too, for everybody here on the web stream that's following along, the AMs versus pros. If the games continue like they are tonight, we could have a tie. That's how everything is going down, so we're going to need to start the comeback train.
Total points, AMs versus pros over all the games.
There you go. Nice. You're going to get the roll.
I still go back to the folks that we were on the Zoom chat with that are actually curling right now. You know, one person is the AMs, one person's the pros. They go out and actually curl. The rest of us just, you know, sit in the proverbial bar and drink the beers, right? So
that's an important job too.
You don't have a drink there, Kmart. What? I have not seen you sip.
You know what? No, so in between the last game and now we did. Let's see, we said happy birthday, ate birthday cake. Or my grandson was over, our 2-year-old grandson. So it's been busy. It's been busy here.
I can tell you as father of an 18-month-old myself, Kevin, that anytime I see a young child like that, it just makes me want to drink more. I can tell you since the car business has slowed down enough for me to be daddy daycare, I've as soon as my wife gets home, out comes the vodka.
Yeah. Well, it's grandpa daycare, so it's not as bad. When your grandpa can always send them home, right?
Oh, that's right. And grandpa, you can fill them full of sugar and Cheetos and popcorn twists, and
you got her. And that's exactly what we did.
The worst part. I don't think grandpas know how to say no, so that's how that goes.
That's right. Well, that's right.
That's fair. I don't think I've ever heard my father-in-law say no. They just moved to the city here about a year ago, and there's been a couple days during quarantine that it's been take them.
I can only imagine.
I'm stepdad. I'm the cool stepdad to Karen's 13-year-old, and he literally, you know, when he's with us, he plays his game all night long, and I'll walk to get us something out of their fridge at 4 a.m, and he's up, and I just look in the room and go, "Really?" He's like, he knows he gets away with it. He's gonna get away with it.
James, do you have kids?
I do not. At least no one's proven it yet. My ex-wife and I were trying, and we got divorced. And I figured if I had heard something, I would have heard something within 9 months after the divorce.
That's fair. No, that's a safe assumption. Okay, none that have been proven yet might be the line of the night here as James tries for 2.
Definitely be the line of the night.
Don't hit the inside one, just want to hit the outside.
No, he's gonna hit. He's playing the hit for 2. He's gonna make it.
Yeah, I got it.
He's gonna drop the line of the night and make it.
Beauty.
Golf clap.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
Now,
all right, so now I just need to steal 4?
3 down, playing the last. Okay.
All right, against Kevin Martin.
Tie.
Yeah, that no problem, right?
Kevin, your career, have you ever given up a steal of 3 that you can remember?
Oh, for sure. We've given got steals of a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Gee, we managed to lose the first game of the Canadian Junior.
Yep.
I think we were up 3 going home with and gave 4. I think the first game against, I think it was against Quebec. And, and that's an amazing, I think that's what it was. I believe I'm right with that. That's not a finishing end.
Now the real question was
I think I threw this one through.
Were the Quebec kids smoking in juniors? Like the old smoke hanging out of the mouth there, you know?
Oh, that never happened, did it, in curling?
No.
Well, there's the famous, I don't know about juniors, that famous picture of the guy with the broom behind, he's got the cigarette dangling down, the Canadian whiskey behind him.
That's Oris Melischuk, right? The big old.
Is that who it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do people still smoke in Canada?
Hey, sorry?
Do people still smoke in Canada?
A few.
It's like $30 for a packet of cigarettes.
Yeah, it's expensive. It is expensive.
When I'm working, Jerry, I'm in the car business, and I can tell you the ratio of smokers in the car business compared to the rest of the general population is significantly higher.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, if you ever want to go buy a car and you find yourself a salesman that smokes and just spend hours at his desk with him and get him jonesing, because there you go. Little pro tip for everybody.
Oh,
brilliant. When do you start back selling cars? Because that died. I mean, that stopped instantly, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I'm in a group with 3 different dealers. We have a Honda store, a Nissan store, where I primarily work in a Mazda store. I do finance instead of sales, so it looks like I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to be roving between the 3 stores, covering days off here, probably sometime this month. So
good.
Things are picking up enough here in Saskatchewan because we've largely dodged the bullet that there's enough work for like a person and a half at every store, so I get to kind of just drive around, and which is great because I love my 2 boys to death. But driving me crazy.
18 months and how old?
18 months and 4 years.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you need vodka.
Yes.
Busy.
I had hair before this started.
I think he's still got color.
No, this is the first time he's done his hair in months, according to his wife.
It is. No, that is exactly what I said, Jerry. I
was watching.
That's right. My wife was pleasantly surprised when she saw me in a button down and done up hair. Mike, I'm almost disappointed you didn't wear the Korean baseball league style button down.
I could have. Yeah. Actually, on my golf, I do have my. I brought it. No, I got a T-shirt under here and a golf jersey, but that's enough.
Where did you play?
Where do I play?
Where did you play today?
I didn't play today. I played 5 rounds, 5 of the last 7 days though. So I was. I was done.
Nice.
Yeah, the course is open, and at least like something to do, right? That's kind of what we're having.
Is it almost normal, Mike? Is it almost normal to go out and play?
The golf? Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
No, perfect.
Yeah, no problem at all. The golf courses are good. They've got these little
noodles.
I forget.
Noodles.
No, we're not doing the noodles. We have this thing. It's the ball goes in, and it's something attached to the pin. You just pull it up, and the ball comes out.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Right. Yeah, you pull it up with your putter, right?
It's called the pin caddy.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty good, and yeah, they're not doing the bunkers. The bunkers are messy. That's the only thing, but the course is in great shape, and it opened about 3 weeks later than normal. So the grass is super healthy up here, and
it's so hard to hit a 2-foot putt with the flag stick in. It's driving me nuts
well,
right
for
now.
you, yeah, no, I don't mind it.
We played yesterday, and a bunch of redneck guys, and they just grabbed the flag.
Right, Kevin?
Yeah, of course.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think that's going to the back 12.
No, I think it's going to hold on, but that's what you need. That's what you need to get your steal of 3.
Yeah, no, I need some riders around that you can't double. But
That's right. Those little guys you never really get rid of.
No guards could be problematic.
Yeah, it's going to be very problematic.
The house is so fast past the center line. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh. That's why he's a gold medalist. The GOAT right there.
That's why we might not see a steal of 3, although that would be thrill and exciting. But
Not since the juniors, and that was a while ago.
That was when, again, as James described, you had the broom way up here and you had a dart in your mouth.
Do we have any live updates from Joel? See what's going on here. We should send him a note.
Yeah, what's the point totals and stuff?
Joel, the last thing Joel sent me a couple of seconds ago was really looking like a tie.
Tie? No way.
Yeah,
I think a playoff. Let's do a playoff. I mean, everybody's still quarantined. Let's keep them up till 2 in the morning. Let's go.
Why not? Right?
I have a meeting in November, I believe. It's the next one.
Like I said, Mike had the best line of the quarantine, and it was early on. He said, "My car's getting on Twitter." He said, "My car's getting 3 weeks to the gallon."
It had been such a long time. I put gas in my vehicle, and I almost forgot how to do it.
I haven't gotten gas since March 5th.
Do you guys see them on Twitter? I started my car. I had a nest in my
Yes, you did.
I had a
I
nest.
saw that. Yeah.
I hadn't started for like 2.5 weeks. Turn it on. My engine light comes on. I call my mechanic, bring it over. I had a giant nest. I don't know what the hell it was, but
Had they chewed through it? I was going to ask you, Mike. Had they chewed through any wires or anything like that?
no, I was really lucky. They just took me
Oh
right.
yeah, you dodged a bullet big time on that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't
last
make it.
shot.
They didn't make it
last rock. Yeah,
it's the win.
Last rock, and I'm sitting 3, but it looks like he's got it.
For the victory.
I might have the hole.
Oh, is it a field goal?
Oh, we got it.
I'll say if it's 1, you made someone very happy. Oh, you gave me 2.
Just barely holds on.
Yeah,
Kevin.
barely.
Oh,
I thought that was a field
Dramatic.
goal.
Yeah, I that was looking like a John Fraser special right there, buddy. Right through the hole there, throwing thirds. So
well, those 2 points could be big though in the overall score. So that's good.
Yeah,
Heck of a
Joel
game.
just
Heck of a game.
Yeah.
Joel
All right.
just sent AMs were up 4.
Yeah.
Pros were up in both games. They split points in the bonus. So Kevin Martin again coming up clutch, because I think clutch and Kevin Martin are kind of synonymous with one another, at least as long as I've been watching curling. So but yeah, great game, guys. Lots of fun. Again, thanks to curlingzone.com for sponsoring this, and of course let's lupus.org. Don't worry, I'm not doing a weird celebration, guys. I know it looks weird on the Zoom chat, but on the
You're
YouTube
pointing
stream
at the
I'm actually
logo.
pointing.
Pointing
Yes.
at the logo. There we go.
Thank you, Mike, because the last time I did that, I kind of got like, how drunk are you?
Oh.
You had no shirt on. You had no shirt on.
Oh, fantastic. We've gone over to Hodges' game in the live stream.
Okay.
Room 4. Okay. Does that mean I can just like be Fun John now?
What were you?
Have they moved?
Yeah, they moved it.
Jerry, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely, Jerry. Appreciate that.
That
Nice
was
to
a
meet you,
blast.
Jerry.
Cool. Nice to meet you. I'll see you sometime. I promise. I will meet you in person, Kmart. I look forward to it.
Hey Jerry, if you're ever in Saskatoon for some random reason, look me up. Beers are on me. I don't know why the fuck you'd ever be in
If you're ever in
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, call us and we'll get you out of there.
Oh, come on. We got great courses here. Kevin, you've been to Saskatoon. It's not a shithole.
Well, is that where didn't Brooke win in Saskatoon? Is that
No,
where
she
Brooke-
won in Regina. in
She won a
18.
Regina.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, Saskatoon's way nicer as well.
Saskatoon's a much nicer part of Saskatchewan, if you could believe it.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure.
How can anything be nicer than Regina?
Well, I'm sure you guys are going to be out here for the trials. The trials are here next year.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's that other network. But thanks for reminding Kevin and I that.
Well, I figured you guys would come out here anyway.
We'll probably be there anyway. But yeah.
Well, that's what I just assumed. It's the trials. That's what I said. I'll just buy you some beer and all be good.
Okay, then we'll come.
Okay, well, that's fine. You know, if I get to sit down with you two guys, gladly buy a round or two, because again, I'm not very good. So
Loved it. Thanks, guys.
Karen.
Thanks for coming on. Kevin, good to see you again. Mike, good to spend some time with you outside of Twitter. James, pleasure to meet you, buddy. You're a good guy.
Yeah, just remember it's 2 syllables, nuclear.
Did you notice? Did you notice how I just stopped saying it the entire time?
I did notice that.
Listen. I learned a lesson very young in my broadcasting career, probably about 10 years ago. Somebody says to me, "If you can't say it, just don't fucking say it. Just find a way around it. You can't pronounce a name."
Play guy's job, Kevin. Right?
Right?
Baldy, take care of that one. It's our pleasure. Great guy does that.
Look after that.
Well, the gentleman from the Granite Club, he said he asked Kevin advice for getting into curling broadcasting, and Kevin's advice was don't get into it.
Hey,
I mean, does that sound true, Kevin?
Huh? I would know.
Does that sound like something you would have said?
How would Mike and I get together for cocktails every night of the week?
Listen, I don't know what it's like in the golf commentating world, but curling commentating, I would gladly do this for as long as they'll let me.
It's so much fun.
Hey, you know what, boys? That's universal. When I worked the Saski Provincials for Curl Sask, and every night it was just like those 8:30 games were not my best performances, but the night before was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Getting the whole production truck together, it was good times. So
That's good.
all right. Speaking of that, I need more booze. See you guys in the main room.
Okay. All right. Oh, they're in room 4.
Sure. What room is that?
They're in 4.
I gotta get back on there.
That kind of would be an amazing thing.
And we literally beat the odds to do it, because what are the odds it ends in a tie? So what's wrong with beating odds? We're talking about charity event for lupus. Like, we want to beat odds. That's the whole point.
There we go.
Good. Hodges game for
work.
I'll
I tell you.
I'll get into Hodges game, no problem. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get into room 4. We'll go harass Hodgie for an end.
Yep, give me in there.
Yeah, just
They have
listen.
2 rocks left. They have 1.5 rocks left.
Okay,
so.
I'm
Well,
just.
if anyone has a chance to derail Haji, if you put John and
Oh
Ty,
no, they got another.
that might be the combo that could do it.
all right.
If anybody's gonna bust Haji's balls, it's us two. All right, let's go. Jump us in there
now.
Do it now.
John, Ty.
Yep, send it.
Send it.
John, Ty, me.
Okay, now we need to steal a 3. Okay, so everybody in the chat room, do you guys know that currently right now, if this game ends the way we think it could end, it's going to be an overall weekend tie between Pro-Am and Team Pro.
Really?
Yes, 48 points and 48 points.
An exact tie.
Well, you're going to have the tiebreaker. We could have the golf guy. Play.
More connected. It's we got a lot in common.
Well, if you ever want curling tips, let me know. My golf swing, I'm doing a bunch of George Gankas stuff right now to try to stay back, and it's been working.
That's awesome. That's well, the only time I've ever been curling was with Mike Harris and Bob Weeks, who both for different reasons are in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, that's like playing your first round of golf with Tiger and Jag. And
yeah,
it's a little intimidating.
I saw the photo too. You look like you knew what you were doing, though. Like, you look like you're part of the crew.
Pictures are amazing. I've been posting pictures, everything I've been baking, and I'm not a baker this whole quarantine. And everybody thinks I can bake, but you can't taste the picture.
Well, so, I run the kitchen.
This is now the live stream game.
Northern Ontario. Oh, Tuesday. If you want to send me a baking recipe, I'll use it at our golf course. I'm running the kitchen at a small one up in Northern Ontario. Send me a baking recipe, and I'll put it in the kitchen and tweet you.
I'll send you. It's not a baking recipe; it's a deep fried recipe, but it'll make everybody never want to leave.
So just a heads up here, guys. You do know that this game is going to could decide the whole thing.
Yep.
That's why all of a sudden you're getting a whole lot more attention with a whole bunch of us in the breakout room.
So big news, Colin, you're winning right now on this course. If you win, the Spiel's tied.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. But if you lose,
the AMs beat you guys.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So
I better not give up Steel 4 here.
Again, you do have a large, safe lead, and you are drinking a bunch of wine. What's the wine of choice tonight for the biggest game of the evening?
Fine.
Well, we've chosen a nice old vine Lodi, California, Klein. It's actually made by the Jacuzzi family, who some may or may not know are originally from Italy and have roots in Manitoba, Winnipeg area of all places, and California. And yeah, they have pretty awesome wine there. So,
Mike, I meant to ask you earlier on the live stream, but what's in the glass for you?
I was just drinking beer tonight. A little Amsterdam special, a little Heine.
Yeah, I'm about to go make myself my favorite cocktail of pink lemonade and vodka, which I don't buy pre-mixed. But of course, now we are on the deciding game of the ALPACA.
Oh, rolling a little hot. Rolling a little hot.
Oh boy.
We just want to see if Colin can hold his composure when the pressure's on.
Like, I feel like I should be taking bribes from the amateurs because I think Mike and we know some good Haji stories, right?
Yeah, but nothing as bad as you'd think, though.
Oh,
like
I know some good ones.
I don't know, and like real, but he's made some questionable choices in the past, but none that I wouldn't have made.
Who hasn't, right?
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair. There are, though. I like, as much as I love Haji, again, love you straight up like a brother. I just want to get your head to make this interesting. I feel like we've done that all. Oh, this is getting intense.
There we go. The door's open for 4 now.
Wow. Could the amateurs pull off a victory? Could Eric be the amateur hero of the evening?
The Ams have a champion shot, and his name is Eric Rodovig.
I prefer.
I've been listening to the game, the documentary, and that's been really, really feeding my soul this game. I got my West Side connection going.
So, Mike, I want to hear more about Colin's dodgy choices that you.
Well, I can't elaborate, but I can only I'll remind him of LA. That was it, right?
The roof tile.
We played in
who in this group has broken a roof tile in California? Not me, but been there, party too.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you make a mess on a check-in desk or something?
Oh yeah, that happened too.
I've got 2 words for you, Haji. The zoo.
Yeah, that's also one.
You know what?
What?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm feeling it tonight. It's the game, man.
You've been feeling it since you beat Stewart.
But he's gonna be sitting 3 after this beauty if he makes it here.
No, that's exactly it. Like Eric's locked in.
I think you need to refill that wine glass, bud.
Like, I open up the middle. I just want to get rid of the center guard. That's it.
Oh, look at this. Eric's got it. Eric's got it.
Oh, that's a peach.
3. Just a pistol.
Welcome to Georgia. There's peaches here.
Okay, Mike.
I just get mad that he's letting me line 3, thinking I have a chance.
Well, he needs a bit of help. He needs Haji to miss.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's not.
Oh.
What are you doing there, bud?
Just about to make contact, and I kept sweeping it, and I was just crying inside.
I love how people are pointing out that last time we did tarps off, the stream got shut down.
Yeah, but apparently Joel's saying it wasn't because of that.
Exactly, it was because of somebody playing music in the background. And
who was playing music?
It should have been because of that. I was watching. That was just not right.
You're wrong.
You are, like, again, Jerry, this is my best angle.
Yeah.
From here on down, it's hair and fat. Look at that.
Because of my Packers logo snuggie on the back of my chair.
Wait, do you have a Packers snuggie?
Bet I do. my
Tarp's on for oh the wick.
Ooh.
The greatest shot in history,
Oh,
unfortunately.
now you're just leaving him a shot for 4. Okay. All right, we'll see what happens.
I have hammer, guys.
Yeah, we've seen hammers go wrong.
Well, worst case scenario, I have to draw a piece to the 8 not to lose. So full 8 to win.
Not to lose it for the entire pro team, Haji. while Mike is threatening you with LA stories, and I'm threatening with zoo stories.
No, I won't tell. I'm not going to tell.
Yeah, I won't tell the zoo story either.
You could tell a story when we hung out with Buffy the Vampire Slayer in LA. That was cool.
That was cool.
Oh, don't roll out. Oh no!
The highlight of that whole thing was watching you
Oh, I
make
gotta hold that.
hamburgers using Frosted Flakes as the binder.
I gotta
Frosted
tweet this
Flakes is
one.
the best binder.
This is a
I
big
gotta get
reference.
this out of the house.
No, I have learned that yes, Frosted Flakes are superior to any breakfast cereal as a burger binder, and just so great.
All right, Haji.
You know what? I'm pulling a Darren right now and just not playing for about a minute and a half.
That was a nightmare. But I'm glad that happened. The best was when Dar just let it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
This is big.
I love how Eric said on the YouTube stream, which is
Let's-
Clean it, boys.
Let's it go.
In the words of Johnny Moe, don't burn it, boys. Don't
It's
burn it.
Here it
looking
is.
Don't burn it, boys.
Here it is.
Off for
Draw.
the win.
Coming for the win here.
Or the
For
tie.
the tie in the
For the
championship.
tie in the
Eddie made
championship.
it.
All right,
He
there we
did
go.
it.
Atta be, Haji. Atta be, buddy.
Pressure.
Good game.
That's right.
Good game. That was a battle.
Good
Good
game,
game.
guys.
Who's our top am?
That's a good question. I don't do. Listen, since I've been
Let's go
laid
back
off,
to the big boy chat, and then we'll figure it out from
we'll
there.
find out. So we'll wrap that up. Now that we know it's a tie, we're going to head back to our Zoom chat and break it all down and work the math out and do the whole thing and ensure that addition is done correctly. Which again, since I've been laid off from a finance job since March, don't leave it to me. I don't do that right now. Wrap that up. Now that we know it's a tie.
Yeah, how do we break the tie, or do we? What do you think?
So
I don't.
we are back live now on the YouTube. Joe and I were talking about
Rose
this
is good at
for
chess.
the
We're
last few
sending
minutes
Stuart out.
as we saw this happening, and we think, yeah, we break the tie.
Hell yeah, we break a tie.
But how do we break the tie?
Do we have
We're
all the
thinking
scores when you do the aggregate?
each team picks a player, and we do a 4-in death match.
Ooh, I like deathmatch.
No
Deathmatch
bonus
is a fun word.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, how about the whole team draws a button?
You want to do a draw to button for the win?
All right, I'm gonna go mix myself a drink. I'll commentate on it. You guys just let me know what's happening.
Yeah, but you can't draw the button, right? Because
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
It'd be hard to
Yeah.
definitively.
All right, you draw the outside 8-foot T line on
I was
opposite
just
sides.
Have someone throw a rock, draw the button, and then just start the game over. Have the other person draw, and whichever one you thought was closer wins.
Well, but that's
Screenshot
the
it.
problem is if you're close though, like there's no way to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like it's too, if they both bite the button, then it's gonna be an argument.
This could be the
All
greatest
right.
gift in history where we all tie.
Just like the spiel, there's no way it's ever going to be that close.
We had one come down to 1/10 of a millimeter once against one of the Japanese teams. We both went pin, and they triangulated it, and we won by less than a millimeter.
Millimeter? What's a millimeter?
You don't have an American measurement that comes close to describing how small a millimeter is.
Yeah, we do.
Story
It's
of
like
my life. That sounds
5,000.
huge.
4.4 thousandths is 0.1 of a millimeter. So who's deciding?
Are we death matching?
Is it Joel and Mike? Are you guys deciding?
This is our thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's got to be decided on the ice.
On the virtual ice.
On the ice.
Love it.
Right?
Yep. So
Like on the rock.
let's plug in some NHL 94 and let's see what happens.
Well, wait a minute. Do we still have Larry and Ray on their actual ice?
Yeah.
Could you do a
Yeah, this
simultaneous
Sydney's
skip
the
draw
side.
on 2 different games? So
Oh yeah, totally.
you can sit there and, I mean, to the extent that it might be too close to call, but at least you'd have them both up on the screen so you could
And if
zoom
it is
in.
supposed to call, we'll just draw again.
Oh, I have an idea.
So we could also do a 4-on-4, one end, most total points.
Wait, I have an idea.
That
What if
sounds
you just
complicated.
Yeah.
What do you got, Stuart?
total rocks scored?
What is it, Stuart?
Total
What
rack.
if you just counted up all the total rocks scored?
Huh? That'd be a tiebreaker.
Points field style.
I have that all. I have all except for one game so far. Kevin, your game against, did you play Ray or Larry?
Ray was 8-6.
Was it?
Yeah.
8-6. Ooh.
Or I'd say
I
who won
won.
the most bonus?
He won.
Goes our way.
Let's see, Ray. I don't know who got the bonus. It was in the third end.
You guys said
You,
before.
you took the bonus on that one. You got the bonus on that one,
I got a
Kevin.
deuce in the third. I got a deuce in the third.
Yeah. Give me a few minutes here. You guys chat amongst yourself, and I can add up. I can add up total points.
And don't announce any
Wait a
things
minute.
before we decide. So
Okay.
Ray Sydney emailed me. Kevin just beat me 5-4. I won 1. I won 1. Kevin won 2. Blank and Kevin won 3. I won 2.
5-4. Oh,
that-
I touched him. Was it? How about the other game?
ending
that
the
night,
third?
Mike? How about the game that against Craig? Craig, do you remember?
I can look it up. I think if I can.
Yeah, it's on the thing.
guys
I
are
can bring it
still
up
logged in.
too.
Maybe that was 8-6.
Yeah, I think that
Kevin,
might have been 8-6.
Okay, got the wrong ones. My memory's good.
Kevin, I was asked to ask you if you were born with that smooth, made-for-TV voice, or you went to broadcasting school at some point.
What do you mean?
All right.
You got that just made-for-TV voice.
Oh, thank you. I guess. No, I did not go to broadcasting school, did I, Mike?
The made for TV voice is better than the made for radio face.
Right.
Not like John.
Oh man.
That's right. I spent my whole career in radio because I was too ugly for TV.
Hey, I did radio for 2 years.
That's
Obviously.
Oh yeah, obviously. Look at this thing.
Too easy.
Okay, that was, what did I say? 6-5, Kev?
5-4.
5-4. Ray got the bonus point, but I won the game.
No, I think you won the third end. You got the bonus point, Kevin.
I got the bonus in the Craig game.
Oh.
I got the games backwards.
Yes.
We're just making sure that it's all ended in a tie before the death match.
Yep.
Fantastic. Oh, wow. I think 2-end death match just because the word death match is cool.
Yeah.
I think you have to have something additional here, right? There's got to
Yeah,
be
we have
like,
28
5 more
people
minutes
watching.
of drama.
Wait,
We can't just leave them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's for the fans.
I
It's
like
for the cows.
play myself. Yeah.
Was that a Foo Fighters reference for the count? I caught you, Ty. I knew I liked the cut of your jib.
It's the Monstars jersey. You know it.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
The two of you together would be a disaster.
We all know I'm coming down for one of these to actually curl in, and I think Ty and I.
Yeah, come do the Halloween spiel in Madison or any other fucking spiel. I travel.
My sister's getting married in October. Otherwise, Halloween would work.
Where's that? I'll come to that.
Calgary?
Oh, yeah, I'll go to Calgary. Chelsea, you got an extra bed? Yeah.
I have one. My wife and 2 children.
Yeah, I look pretty.
Why would you go with them?
No,
That'd
that's
be way
fair.
more fun.
That's fair. I know them, and you know. Sure.
2 ends. Okay. Is there a way to do a random draw? Is there a way to do a random draw of who it is?
Everyone's still here.
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
I could call Ray and Larry.
That would make sense.
Who was
Give
the
it to Dar. All-star right there. Cold.
The Iceman.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do it like you have the best record?
Top scorers.
Yeah, like I think you take the 2 top scorers. Like, let's make it good.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, but even just the record, like Haji's undefeated, so he's the top pro that's still here by far.
I think it's Chris and I have 3 wins, right?
Yeah.
I have 3.
And Eric has 3. Eric has
3?
9 or 10 points. Yeah, Eric was undefeated and he got the pointer in game, so I think Eric had at least 9 points, right?
Yeah, I missed the end in 2. So I had 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I think I had 8.
Pretty sure I had 10.
Chris, you had 10?
Yeah, I got the bonus against Jacobs in the only game I lost. I think I got all the bonus ends in the ones I won.
So maybe we go with Chris then.
Chris against Haji.
Applesauce?
Yeah. Sorry, fake names only.
That's right. Fake names only.
Yeah, applesauce versus Haji. I like it.
Yeah, put the pressure on the young kid.
Right?
Do it.
2-end death match.
All right, I will throw you.
2-end death match.
Move
back to the computer room.
John and Mike, you want to commentate?
Yeah, I'm in. Yep.
You didn't want to waste your time going to a separate breakout for
I'm
that?
tired.
Guys, we're live right now, right?
We are live right now.
We're alive.
I have a question from my dad. And I don't understand the question because I admit to you guys, I've never played the game. Embarrassingly, I promise I'll learn it. But he said, ask in the Zoom room if any player switched the turn. Click the bottom right little thingy, switches the handle. Smiley face.
Like,
I was doing that a lot.
Outside in, you can switch it to inside out.
Yeah, you have to if you. Yep.
Yeah, if you're doing like an inside out hit on the edge, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay.
It defaults to curling towards the center.
And you can't.
You gotta push the button to curl the other
Yeah,
way.
you push the little button and it switches to like inside out turn to the wing.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say, did you get that?
And sometimes you forget.
Oh, all the time you forget.
Yeah,
Are you
so
kidding?
good. Yeah, I know.
Then you
That's
would
why
get the ball again, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put you guys in the room and you can start your death match.
You got your dice.
Good luck.
What room are
We
they
can
in
all
for
watch.
curling?
Oh, are we in room 4?
Hopefully.
I'm in 4.
Okay. I will go listen to a very, very loud advertisement.
Sudden death.
Here we go.
Okay, now that very loud Nicorrect ad has woke me up.
Is that you adding me?
Yeah.
106?
Yep.
Do it.
Okay, done. I am there.
Oh, you got the hammer?
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Please, blank.
No.
Do I get anything for scoring first? Pat on the butt? Something?
I'll pat you on the butt next time I see you.
I'll take it.
I mean, that was going to happen regardless, but I mean, they'll have a reason to now.
So this goes an extra end too, right? If we're tied after 2?
Yes, absolutely.
It has to. It has to. We have to.
With hammer in the first end, I'll take that.
Draw the button.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, I'm getting to my F already.
That's right. I'm glad that the death match has started.
If you're tied after 2 ends, you just draw the button, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so, Mike. I'm with you on that.
No.
Okay,
Unless
well,
I give
Hachi
up a
wants a
steal.
3-end death match.
Unless I give.
That's how Wi-Fi works.
All right, 1 second. I had a Wi-Fi burp.
Yeah, I think we all got kicked out for some reason.
Too much handsome in one room.
Absolutely.
Or too many culinary skills in one room, maybe. I think all it was
Tima Dean. Who is Tima Dean? Is that Michaela? Michaela?
Maybe it's
Callie?
actually Tima Dean.
Is it morning in Sweden?
Yeah, 6-ish. He's up jogging or something.
You're in trouble, Hodge.
Yeah, he's up getting in shape.
Eating his muesli or whatever.
whatever Swedish cereal you have at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Look at
They just
this.
have Gravlax, pure Gravlax.
Wow, just welds it on there.
Smallest of taps. Could be the difference.
Unless I make the freeze or just redirect it and just stay locked on it, oh, he'll be in trouble.
I do have to say that I love the 2-end deathmatch format. Right as I was switching to my event is over drink.
Earl.
You weren't rehydrating yet, were you, John?
What? No, I thought we were going to end in a tie, so I went and grabbed my I love vodka and pink lemonade. It's kind of been my thing all year, especially with some local Saskatchewan vodka. And no, went up to make one of those, and here we are for the death match.
I think we call that moonshine.
That's basically it, Mike. You are correct. So, Haji, how you feeling? You saying your heart's been beating since like the first draw of this thing 5 hours ago.
Get in there. Get in there.
Oh, come on now.
Goodness.
That was a great freeze.
Like, I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness betwixt applesauce and Haji.
Have you looked at my profile in this game? I've been a member for 3 years.
Really?
Oh, so you clearly know what you're doing.
That would be really bad if I beat you right now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's looking real solid right now.
All right, this is getting intense out here. I'm sorry, Mike. I threw the outturn a little tight.
I think there was actual anger in that trash talk for the first time all night.
I agree.
If I'm gonna lose to you,
right, Mike? Like, I think that's the first time there's been like genuine. Like, the trash talk's been like, "Oh, you." But that was like, as if I'm gonna lose.
Wayne Maddaw-esque.
It really was. As he gets in the hack and blasts away before Glenn's got a chance to put the broom down.
How dare you think you can beat me?
As long as I could maybe sweep the rock. Not so bad.
Uh-oh.
These center guards are going to start piling up real quick.
Hodge, you got the hammer?
I do have the hammer. I believe that he got really lucky that my outturn hooked a little on
you just
there
figure a
really
way to
from
get him
one
under
shot.
and take the hammer going home.
I think so.
Even in this game, I don't think 2 is terrible. I think it's your 3 or 4, which is a disaster. So the applesauce man has to figure out a way to get 3 or 4 here. Because I don't think correct me if I'm wrong here, Mike, but I don't think there's anything less than a score of 2.
No,
Haji, what was your average margin of victory, Haji?
I don't know. I won all my games. So there's that.
Won by enough.
Listen, Brad hadn't distracted me by the Pinty's Cup.
Yeah, that was quite the flex. He had the Pinty's Cup with a gold medal wrapped around it, just a straight flex.
Yeah, he brings the Pinty's Out Cup as like a pre-flex. And then he just goes, oh, and this was lying right next to it, picks up the gold medal.
As long as nobody's making this mistake that Darren made and playing this on their iPad.
Yeah,
He must
that's
not
right.
have any fingerprints left, right?
All right, Haji with hammer. What are you gonna do here, Haji?
I'm trying to play a double run back redirect, and I can get shot for sure.
That sounds like straight out of Eiley, buddy.
Oh, did I make the one in Eiley?
You absolutely did, buddy.
This is close. Curl.
I have a beer fridge because of it.
Straight. Sweep it. Oh man. Just need to sweep it. Would have made it.
All for the 2N death match for the. Have we named the trophy? Can we just call it the ALPACA trophy? Like, do you actually get an alpaca? Well, there's a patch that the champions will get.
Well, you know what you get for it actually is the top am and the top pro get to have matching jackets that we're going to make custom ones for this event.
Oh, fun. That's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So in other words, Applesauce and Haji get their own matching jackets.
So I should ditch this blue line jacket I'm wearing, right?
You know what I'll be doing is I'll be giving my jacket to my good friend Stu, who taught me everything I know about this game. So if
That's
I
fantastic.
happens to be me at the end of this, I'm not sure. I was selected out of randomness, I think.
Can I get a right-handed zipper though?
No, you don't get to make requests.
Haji, do you just throw this to the boards? No, you're going for it.
Needs to curl. Oh, I was so close.
Oh, it was almost there.
All I needed to do was make contact on that one blue, and this game would have just fired those blues out of there.
That's right. But in the 2N death match, Haji with hammer coming home, needing 3 to win.
I'm going to try not to let all the pros down, playing this game for them.
The intensity has definitely ramped up in this game. Oh,
Yeah,
and the
trash
applesauce.
talking is at a high level.
Like I said, it is genuine trash talk. It's like 2 people that don't like each other. I'm sure you guys like each other, but it has that effect, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it reminds me of the golf course trash talk. Like, doesn't really mean much.
I'm nice on the golf course.
That's because you've never seen me 3-putt.
That would be nice to see you 3-putt. Maybe this time.
My name is Johnny 3-putt, so there's that. And again, the problem I have is I actually went and in a gift exchange got myself a putting mat. I was all ready to go to fix, my putting skills. And then my youngest, just every time I bring out the golf balls, he just goes ball, and grabs the ball. So there's like nothing I can do. Like literally, I'm about to putt, and it's like, okay, do I putt or break my 18-month-old's hand? So I'm still I don't have a lot going on here. I haven't even been out this year.
You're like I got a putting mat over same thing for kill time. And went to play my first round of golf. I have 2 putters. I have a Scotty Cameron and a TaylorMade something.
Yep.
Odyssey, and I left them sitting in my basement as I showed up for my
Oh,
round. And then you can't even borrow your opponent's putter because you weren't allowed to touch their golf clubs, right?
Right.
So I went in the pro shop, bought a new putter, bought another new putter. It's like a $300 error. I was good, practiced my putting all winter. Things are going to be good. No, never mind.
Well, and that was my biggest fear too, because we went to, I brought my clubs when we went to Mexico in February. And same thing, I got the mat at Christmas, I set it all up, and I was putting, and I was so scared to lose my putter that it went into the bag when I packed them up in February. I can't go to Mexico without a putter.
No.
All right, Haji, what are you thinking here to score your 3?
I just need to get something in that pocket. I'd like to. An angle tap might not do the trick. I think if I can make this intern draw freeze, he's going to be in big trouble.
Chris, what are you thinking about that?
I'm still thinking about my last shot and second guessing myself.
This is intense. The 2N death match for the ALPACA Cup.
Oh, is this tight? Like, that is not even close to the aim spot. Now we're tapping, apparently.
Yeah, you look like a young John Fraser on that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was nuts. It just kind of occasionally just makes it, like, if that wouldn't have tapped, that would have been great. All of a sudden, your foot tight. Whoop. Just like my intern half the time on tour, eh, Mikey? Why I actually do play all out.
I don't pay attention to lead rock, so I wouldn't know.
But we're good friends. You don't rip me on how poor I am sometimes. You speak it honestly. You don't watch it.
I would never say that. I'd say, oh no, it looked like he choosing his own ice here.
The best part is after watching a lot of your games and hearing Mike commentate that, I've definitely heard that before, Mike.
This is the ice I recommend. You do what you need to do. That's right.
Oh man, look at this shot. Look at this shot though. Curl up.
Did that touch that second guard? That did not finish.
No, just too heavy. I needed to play freeze, wait, and sweep it. Very touchy.
Oh, Chris is sitting pretty here.
I'm in there.
Guard for my life.
You're one double back away from trouble here.
Well, two ends in a row when I tap you 2 biting the button. I think you're going to be in good shape.
I've never had the hammer in this game.
I've never had it. You've played one end.
Exactly. You got 10 rocks an end, and I got 6.
Never had the hammer.
2 an end.
In this 2N death match, I've never had the hammer.
Never had the hammer.
That's a new one. Have you heard that one before, Mike?
Oh yeah. It's good to never have the hammer. It means you're scoring. That's good.
Right?
Right?
Earl.
Or you're losing real bad. Oh, there it is, Haji.
No.
Like, what can a guy do? How many run backs have been close?
Like you had all the luck earlier this evening against Stewart, and now you just have none of it in the 2N death match.
Wait, I needed it coming into this game. I needed every ounce of luck.
That's fair. After hearing that Chris has been playing this for, I didn't even know this existed for 3 years. Never mind playing it for 3 years.
Oh yeah, this existed before the 5-guard free guard zone. They had to do a major update when that came out.
So how long has it existed, Chris?
I'm not entirely sure. The website looks like it's been around since 1980.
That is inside.
Oh, Haji.
The bottom of the website says copyright 2001.
Oh.
I think we've all just discovered it since COVID life became a thing. All right. Chris just with all the pressure here. Sitting 2.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Fat fingered it.
Uh-oh.
Could there be life?
Angle tap it in there would be amazing.
Yeah, it's probably what's
Unless
going
you
to happen.
tap it out. Miss it all. Go out. it goes out, I got a real good chance.
Haji.
Back on.
Oh, not an inch further.
No, you're still third and fourth. Chris is sitting 1-2. Both
No,
of
I'm
them.
Myers is
fourth.
back yellow though.
He's fourth.
Oh, he is fourth. No, you're right.
Yeah, no, that's a big difference.
Am I? Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah. 2 rocks to figure it out, to score 2, to send this to an extra end of deathmatch.
I knew I should have just guarded. Abandoned my strategy. Got greedy. There's no reason to get greedy.
Oh, get by the guard. Like, why is every out turn a foot tight?
Because it knows you, Haji.
Man, I might take everything away. Roll. Man, what a disaster.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
That was actually, I took way too much ice on that.
Well, Chris, what are you doing here to seal it for the
Center
amateurs?
guard, hopefully just to the right of the center line.
All right. Lobs it up there. Now,
Girl.
Haji.
Girl. I don't think I have enough room to move them both.
Yellow.
What do I got here?
The,
I think I'm in trouble.
You got the blue-yellow.
The feather off the one top 12.
I don't think in this game it's gonna. Well, it might kick the back one out with the intern. I think that's
Don't know if you hit the sideboard on the flash.
You have to.
The left side. The left side's gone now. My rock was the worst thing that could happen because I was leaving that angle race for 3 at the end.
Blue yellow down the middle, maybe.
That's the only shot. Other than in off, what do you guys think? I got 50 seconds. Am I gonna play the in off with the intern redirect? It might be there for 3. The way that the physics are in this, the middle one actually should fly out of the house.
No, you're right. But
I don't know if the one's gonna. I might get 2 that way.
You have to catch that top one on the right hand side just so thin. But I think they both
I
go
have to
if you
play
catch
the
it.
in off. Okay, in off. I got 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's play the
All right.
intern hard way. Redirect. Quarter rock. 1/8 of a rock.
For the win for the pros. Or for another end in the death match.
Nosed it.
Pulls it out of his hand. Chris has played this game a couple times. He might. Couldn't go.
I didn't know it, but.
And that will seal it. The amateurs win. Thanks to Chris coming up big here in the death match.
Very good.
Good game.
Great game.
Absolutely. So again, the champions of ALPACA are the amateurs after Chris comes up so huge here against Haji, the top pro, the top amateur, face off here in a 2-end death match. I just like saying the word death match. But again, if you're joining us before you go home tonight, look up. I'm not celebrating. I'm pointing up letscurelupus.org.
So they're coming back right now. All right, we're back on the live stream after the final death match between the amateurs and the pros. And it looks like the amateurs have taken it.
Way to go, applesauce.
Woohoo! How do you like them apples?
Chris was huge in the death match.
Yeah. What happened, Colin?
Congrats, Sam. Congrats, Sam. I just didn't have my best game out there today, you know? The out turn, this wrist is really, really broken.
Dan Carey would be so angry at you right now.
I've even seen Dan break a wrist, and I broke my wrist way more than he did.
Well, he didn't usually break his, but I broke mine a lot when he was watching me throw. So,
but either way,
I just mean at our Olympic trials game. Dan actually broke his wrist.
Literally
coaching
broke his
Sophie and I
wrist. Yeah, that's
at the
true.
Olympic trials in like our game before Jen and Mark.
But no, before Joss and Brett.
Oh yeah.
It
Right.
was Joss and
Yes.
Brett on the end sheet. It was like the 4th or 5th game.
Either way, I feel like there needs to be like a celebration. The amateurs that are here left, like I feel like you guys need to like pour something on yourselves or have like a ton of fun or just like we can applaud like
Joel,
Make it loud.
You gotta have a bottle of water or something you can pour on your head or something, right?
Keyboard.
She's throwing the stress ball at me.
That's stress ball. There we go.
You don't need good ice and a bunch of good spiels to be good at internet curling. But no, Regan, Mike, and Joel, you guys did a great job at running this. So
yes,
thank you.
Oh, you want to do a wrap up, Regan, and we'll wrap up the live stream and.
Okay, thank you guys, everybody on the live stream and everybody here. Joel and Mike Dietz, thanks for coming up with this wonderful idea. Thanks for all our beautiful pros to play and all our wonderful AMs and their bringing in funds and fundraising and our commentators. Magnificent. And first ever online Pro-Am curling tournament. I mean, we don't know of any other in the world, so I think it's really cool. And thanks, Dietz boys, for making something new that the world has seen. And it raised in a weekend. We raised $11,500.
Hey!
Thank you guys so much. Fantastic, right? Like,
Who would have thought we could raise over 10 grand on an online curling event?
Yeah, pretty awesome. And
Esports are big money these days.
Say that again, Chris.
Esports are big money these days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just magnificent. Couldn't have imagined it. And I just really appreciate all of the people who tuned in too, and just you guys really have made this amazing. You know, I think too, don't you guys think that people are gonna watch the reruns that we're gonna have on our YouTube channel? I know I am. I'm gonna blast them all over the place.
For sure.
Oh yeah, anybody that couldn't make it tonight has certainly asked for the details on the YouTube stream, especially the tarps off for Lupus part.
I was going to say they're
buddy.
People are asking about. It might have something to do with John Fraser.
So
and
good
Clive
with
Eaton.
that ban from
Yeah.
YouTube. That's saying something.
Yeah.
Did that
Shut her
first thing,
down.
like get deleted or just stopped?
They just shut it down.
Yeah, it's not deleted. I don't think
Okay.
so, guys. Right? We can still get at those videos.
Who knows?
No, we'll see.
I think so.
But yeah, I got Twitter, I got Facebook, I got Instagram. So follow me if you need to see more. You know, we'll see.
You know what? After the popularity tonight, I might open up an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yeah, on Reddit. Yeah.
That's right. Just wait till I get the boudoir shots done.
Oh yeah.
John, I would like to compliment you on your mug before we go any further.
Oh,
I
yeah,
knew
that's a
you'd love
great
that.
one.
I was drinking with my left hand just so you notice it, Chelsea.
I love it.
Knew you would.
That's wonderful, you guys. We're always blown away by how much generosity you guys give us, and it's really wonderful. So thanks, Mike and Joel. What do you guys want to say? This was your event.
I thought it was fantastic. Again, just overwhelmed with the outpouring of support from the curling community, from you pros, and your generosity of giving up your time and coming out and having fun with us. As you know, this is a very, very personal cause for me, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Hang on. Well, I guess you can still hear me through my microphone.
No, we got you through yours.
Yeah. Well,
it's coming through here.
Live stream thing is. So yeah. There you go. Yeah. Thanks everybody. It's been a lot of fun, and really thanks to the pros, because we heard a lot of pros that agreed to do it, and then about a week before the event, was like, okay, what the hell are we doing? and a lot of the pros agreed to do it before knowing what was happening. So, thank you, pros. You guys are the best.
Cheers.
And gals.
Cheers.
Right.
Cheers.
Had to learn how to play.
Just like so, I love that how appreciative everybody is at these events of the pros.
You do
and
this all the
that's
time, Chelsea.
awesome. But like, come on, this is so much easier for us than it is for you guys. Really, like we just show up. I didn't know what play curling was. I played a couple games before, but like when Regan messages me and says like, "Do you want to be part of it?" I'm like, I don't care what it is. I'm doing it. Like it's just so easy for us to show up for a couple days and so like we're not really the one. I don't think we're the ones that should be thanked. I think it's you guys who put all the work into this event and all the coordination and the technical side and the volunteers and you know the amateurs and we're not we do a lot less than most of you guys do, so we're happy to be here, but we're in awe of the things that you guys do to make these events run, so thank you guys.
Well, thank you. Here's to many more, and more get-togethers. This is really
Absolutely.
cool. And like we made new friends and people of all ages, walks of life. That's curling. Curling connects.
All
Love
right.
it.
Well said.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Cheers.
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 Thanks for being a part.
And with that, we're gonna wrap up the live stream.
All right. Okay, sounds good.